right, guys. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Thank you for watching South Georgia Hot Shot.
We made it here with plenty of time to spare. We end up stopping at what's the name of that little town?
Wikipedia or something?
Wikipedia?
I don't remember how.
Dang it, I can't remember. It's where we stayed the other night, not last night, but the night before. But we went in their little restaurant and got I got a pulled pork sandwich. Lita got 2 tacos. I think both of them were pretty amazing, huh?
They were pretty good. It was like homemade taco shells.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to eat tonight. We did reserve a spot here at Pilot, but I think we ended up taking a spot over here that isn't a reserve spot. I think people weren't backing into it because of a truck that parked over here on the corner. It was kind of hard to swing in there. Not as hard for us because we're not quite as long as a semi-truck, but I can guarantee you a semi-truck would have been there for a while. So we're gonna go inside and get our ticket anyways and stick it in the window just in case it is a reserve. I think the parking lot's kind of old, the paint's worn off, so can't really tell where reserved's at. We just don't want to get the window knocked on at 3 o'clock in the morning saying where's your slip, right? So, but we're here for the night. We're gonna go deliver first thing in the morning, and then we have the other pickup. I thought it was going to Salt Lake. It's not going to Salt Lake, it's going to Roy.
Yeah.
Roy, Utah, which is an hour north of Salt Lake.
Yep.
No big deal, all good. See you in a bit. This place actually has a security guard that will not allow you to walk in unless you have your mask on. I think that's the only thing he's there for, right?
Well, that he like shoot out like some guy that.
Oh, so yeah, so there was some guy that was trying to get a free shower. I'm pretty sure he was homeless, and they're like, no, you got to get out of here. I guess what he does is he comes up here and asks drivers if he can get one of their shower credits, and they wouldn't allow him to do that. If I had a shower credit, I'd have gave it to him. But I haven't filled up in a Pilot. We haven't filled up a Pilot in a while. We're hitting all the other little mom and pops on our app to save as much money as we can, because that's the name of the game, right? What's the saying? A penny saved is a penny earned. Yeah. All right. I think we're going to crawl in the truck. I'm going to get to editing some videos, and we're going to go to bed.
Yep.
See ya. I'm not sure how loud that is through the camera, but it's super loud through the truck. And that's all we heard all night long, was that air compressor blowing off all night long. I might have gotten 5 minutes of sleep, maybe 15 at the most. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So loud. I don't even know why it does it. I'm sure there's a problem with the truck. Pisses me off.
So we're in Boulder City, Nevada. Fun fact, Boulder City was created so the Hoover Dam could be built. All the workers that built the Hoover Dam resided in Boulder City because it was closer to where they were working. Anyways, we are at Armor Rock. We picked up these 2 culverts, concrete culverts, and it's the Legacy Logistics load. woke us up at 6 today asking when we were going to be here. Then they called us again, and then they called us again, and then they called us again. And then here we got some stuff that is going to go in the bed of the truck.
Hopefully we don't forget it this time.
More shit we can forget. So
That episode just aired.
yeah. So, you know, and then check your load. These guys don't care what they're putting on your trailer. These two were loose in this culvert, so they would have flew out on the highway. Would have been our fault. Let's check what the hell these guys are doing, because this is the rest of these, and these are attached in the culvert, but there were two that were loose. So pay attention to what you're doing, because they're not paying attention.
What up? Welcome back to the channel, guys. So we spent Friday, Saturday night at the land. Didn't really do much out there. We just so I bought a cell phone booster. I installed it out there, and we have a appointment for the truck. Is my hand in the way? I think my hand was in the way. We have an appointment for the truck to go in Monday morning. There's a recall on the forward front ends, and I want to get that taken care of. But right now we're back at the spot where we parked the truck and the trailer, and the issue here is we are going to be installing some new brakes and rotors for the truck, because last time I had my rotors turned only once. They said they would never be able to be turned again because they are already too close to the limit that they allow. So when we had some grinding noise, I jumped on. You know what? I just jumped on Google, and honestly, I just bought the cheapest set I could find, and it was like $180 shipped. So that's really not too bad. I'm sure the quality of them's probably all the same. Probably won't show you guys this. I might show you what the brake pads look like and the rotors look like on the set of rotors that we did. So basically I went metal on metal, and I completely chewed up one of the rotors. Knowing that so basically what happened was I heard the noise and I knew exactly what it was. So I just jumped on and ordered it even before I even looked at it. So then what we did was when I tore it down and I seen how bad the rotor was, I was like, well, I'm not going to buy another rotor since I already have two rotors coming. I just bought a cheap set of brake pads, threw a cheap set of brake pads on there, and then figured it would get me back to Salt Lake, which it did. It stopped grinding, but I'm sure that brake pad is tore up. So let me get this thing jacked up. Oh, we also have to change the oil. We had 180,000 miles on the truck. We have our new windshield in. You guys didn't see that. I broke the windshield throwing my GoPro in the truck onto the dash. What else? I'm going to try to fix that oil leak. I'm thinking it's that block that comes off the engine block, so that the air filter, oil filter can turn straight up and down. So I got some brake parts cleaner. I'll probably clean that up real well, and we'll get that taken care of. And then I bought low dust brake pads this time. I hope I don't regret it. Let me see if I can turn this thing around and show you. Yeah, so see how the rims are just completely... I've tried pressure washing them. I've tried cleaning them chemically. They are just completely destroyed. It would take probably some polishing. I don't know if this is aluminum with the clear coat on it or what, but honestly, it's a work truck. I don't really care what my rims look like. I want the truck to look professional, so I like it to be clean, but I don't know, the rims just aren't a big thing to me. I've never been a big rim guy. So, but as you can see, the truck is super dirty. I need to have it washed. When they replaced the windshield, they said I couldn't wash the truck for like 4 days. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. I think it's been 3 or 4 days now. I'm sure I'll wash the truck again before we go back out. Maybe Ford will wash it for me when they do the warranty work on the front end. So we'll just take it in there dirty, see if they wash it for us. If they don't wash it for us, who cares? We're gonna wash it anyways. So these are the brake calipers we went with. TRQ, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it really matters. And then the brake pads are TRQ as well. Low dust. So I don't know, maybe that'll help. Direct OE replacement, which my original brake pads lasted, what was it, 120,000 miles. These second set lasted 40,000 miles. When I went around, because I could hear it grinding, I started up there because it sounded like it was coming from the left of the truck. So I started up at the front left. Those were still good. So I worked my way around. All of these brake pads look good except for this set. So I'm sure we'll be doing the rears soonish, but they didn't look bad at all. I'm not really sure why this one wore out so fast. And honestly, when we had the issue with the trailer brakes not working, I'm sure it worked the truck brakes extra hard, and maybe that's why I went through this set of brake pads sooner than the original. I don't know. Let me get to work though. And we'll see what we come up with. So here's the rotor that we had metal on metal with. It was a lot rougher than that. And here's the brake pad. Really didn't do too bad. I honestly thought that this would be wore down a lot more than what it is, but this just polished this. It's still trash, but interesting to see. If you ever have a problem with metal on metal, you can just throw some brake pads on it to get you off the road and wait on your rotors to come in. So this is the piece that I thought was causing the oil leak. I figured the gasket went bad, but it's got one of those reusable O-rings. I don't really see where it's damaged or anything. So I don't know. My plan was, I thought this was going to be one of those paper gaskets. I was going to take the paper gasket off and use some gasket sealant on it. I don't know. I don't know where the leak's coming from. Well, we just dropped the truck off at the Ford place. We may get another key made since we lost our key. They're gonna redo the front end on the truck for free. And we're just waiting on our ride now. All right, guys, on our way to pick up the truck from the Ford dealership. So this was supposed to be a 2 to 3 hour job. I think this light's kind of messing me up. And it's now been 26 hours. And a buddy of mine told me about this whole deal, and they went in and replaced everything. Well, these guys are only like, well, no, this is the only part that's covered is what we replaced, and the rest is going to be $800. They're like, we noticed that it's still shimmying and shaking. I'm like, so the recall is doing absolutely nothing, and other than replacing a part that Ford thinks is causing the issue. So they were all supposed to call me back and let me know how much a new key was to get cut, and they didn't do that. What's funny is when I called Ford, I was like, hey, you guys have had my truck over 24 hours. What's the deal? And they're like, oh, so-and-so was the one working on your truck. And he's not here right now. I was like, okay, well, is my truck done? They're like, well, we don't know because so-and-so was working on your truck. And I'm like, so if this guy goes missing, we never know what happened to my truck? I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So anyways, he ended up calling me back a little bit ago and said that the extra parts would be $800. That the shake is still there. It didn't fix the shake. I'm like, you guys aren't, I'm not paying you to fix something. I'm like, I got a bunch of extra parts in my truck I was going to put on here anyways. I think he said the track bar ball joint's bad. I'm like, after I hung up, I was like, that's what I just replaced. How is it bad? And you want to charge me $800 for a $60 part? Dang, that guy just almost got hit. Crazy. So we're on our way right now to get the truck. I'll let you guys know what happens when we get there. All right, we're at Ford picking up the truck. So they are saying the track bar and the track bar ball joint is bad, which is the piece we just replaced. So I think they're full of it and they're trying to get some money out of it. Maybe they maybe they don't think I work on my own truck, and they're trying to pass off that they replaced the track bar themselves when we just replaced that. So I don't know. We're gonna take it on the highway here and we'll see how it runs, and we'll get back to you. So we got back from Ford today, and I looked underneath the truck to see what they've done, and all they did was replace the steering stabilizer shock, and that's it. And that's it. Where's it at? I don't want to get my pants dirty. Somewhere in there. And they wanted to say that that was part of it, and that was the only thing that they had to do to make the truck stop shaking with the death wobbles. It's like, whatever. There's bigger issues than that. You can't tell me that's the only reason. There it is, right there. I forgot to stick my air filter in when I drove it to the because when I changed my oil the other day, I hadn't driven it for a few days because we've been riding around in my brother's truck.